Yeah, if anyone any more questions, either kids that played the same sports, yeah, everyone's a winner. Yeah, with the burlesque thing, you're not always going to get a leading role. You can't claim that that means that you're not safe. And yeah, any more questions that are not marriage proposals? Do you see the safe space stuff fading away in the near future? Is it just getting started? Well, I don't see it fading away because every single day you see more and more of it going on, and it's good to see places like University of Chicago saying, "Not here, not on this campus." Um, that's good. That does show positive, a positive trend in this. But at the same time, a lot of people pushed back and they said, no, you just don't understand this safe space culture, trigger warnings. This isn't hindering open conversations, which is what is so amazing about the videos that are a part of the piece that I just wrote about Yale University. You absolutely cannot watch this video. You absolutely cannot watch this video and say that safe spaces and political correctness are not hindering an open conversation. Because this guy is saying things like, I understand, good point. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. And they're just any attempt he tries to make amends. Um, he they are yelling in his face. They're sobbing. They're accusing him of being a racist. Uh, they're yelling in his face. I mean, the open conversation is impossible, which is really sad because the kind of open conversations are really important. There's really nothing like it for learning, to have an open conversation where there's differing points of view and you can hear from people who disagree, and you might disagree, and you might learn for, one of two things. You might learn, it hurts even people who are part of the majority because they're not going to learn how to defend their arguments. The best way to learn how to defend your argument, even if everyone around you disagrees, if everyone around you agrees, you'll never know how to do that. Because if you see someone who disagrees, you'll say, oh no, I disagree because of this reason. And you get the ability to learn how to defend your argument. Or sometimes you think, oh, maybe I wasn't right. Maybe I do think of this differently than I thought I did originally. And either way, it's a valuable experience. Either you learn how to defend your argument from being exposed to other arguments, which, by the way, is the only way you'll ever be able to do that, or you learn that maybe things aren't quite the way that you saw them as. Question from Tim: can I buy you a beer? Sure. Any if you have any other questions. Is it trendy to be offended? Yeah, I think it is at these campuses, because you're offended. You're saying, oh, I know about something culturally that you don't know about because I'm so much more culturally educated and smarter, and you're just this country bumpkin who doesn't understand why this would be so upsetting. I mean, there was a sumo wrestling suit at one of these campuses. I believe it was one of the University of California's. Don't recall which one. There was a sumo wrestling suit, and one student said this was offensive to the cultural tradition of sumo wrestling, and people were like, oh yeah, no, not oh yeah, it's a sumo wrestling suit and it's a fun game and you need to chill out. And there needs to be a lot more of that. And I know a lot of students on campuses who really do feel that way are afraid to say they feel that way because they don't want to be ostracized. I've spoken on campuses, and a lot of students have said, come up to me after and they said, how do I do this? Because people are going to hate me. And I'm like, let them hate you, because it doesn't matter. 4 years doesn't matter if people hate you. The future of how this is going really, really does matter. It's more about being popular than it is about making a difference. I don't know about that, because if you look, even professors have had to resign. Not even students, even professors have had to resign. It really, really is a real problem. I wrote about a piece that a student had written who went to University of Colorado, who said she got into her classroom and her professor immediately said, patriotism is foolish. By the way, patriotism is pretty normal. I know it's really popular to not be patriotic now, but I think a lot of people celebrate 4th of July. I think a lot of people dig this country, and I think that's pretty normal. And the interesting thing about that is not just because I think he's wrong, but because that professor, who was supposed to be this super liberal hippie professor, was actually making it be not a safe space for the students who do feel it's patriotic, 'cause they have to sit in this classroom now and know that this professor who's going to be grading their papers thinks that they're foolish for their views. And how are they ever to feel comfortable, safe, sharing their own views? This guy just told them on the first day of class that he thinks that they're foolish. And they have the choice of either hiding their views, which isn't comfortable, or of going at it and having to wonder always, did I not get the grade I deserved? And this guy has a problem with me on a personal level. It really is ironic, because an example like that, that's making it an uncomfortable space for some students.